Good afternoon. Welcome to my daily broadcast. My name is Barry Selby. Welcome to my chat around the area of masculine and feminine polarity, relationships, etc., etc. And let me introduce myself formally. I am a best-selling author, speaker, and relationship attraction expert helping strong, successful women find balance in love, life, and business. I'm also a passionate champion for the divine feminine. And these daily talks called Messages from the Masculine to Inspire the Feminine Heart are this is my friend put it. Thank you, Jason. He called it the abandoned burrito marketing strategy. I love that. I'm thinking to copy that and use that. But it basically, my friend Jason Goldberg just did a Facebook Live a little bit earlier, about an hour ago, so you can go watch on his wall to talk about this. And I'm realizing what my Facebook Lives are about. No, not about, what they serve. Is basically letting you know what I'm about, what I do, where I'm from, what are my messages about, what I'm helping you with, etc., etc. Today's topic, by the way, just to get to that, and I'll get to the other piece maybe later. This is number 315, 314? 315. Yes, 315 of these have been done, including this one. This one is men. Stop being a victim of your libido. And this one may piss some people off. Let's be blunt about it. What this is inspired by, for those who are wondering where I got this idea from, because I do get these ideas from strange places sometimes, is if you've been noticing or been following or been watching the after effects or the aftermath of Tony Robbins' talk at his San Jose event that's been going viral over the web because of what he said around the metoo movement, one part of that really stuck out to me. I mean, and the whole thing did, and I heard a whole bunch of stuff about it. But one piece that really triggered me was where he said that one of his clients, one of his male clients, had come to him and told him how challenging it was with the Me Too conversation because of the fact that now he had 3 interviewees show up for a job he was looking to hire somebody for, 2 men and a woman. They're all, I think they said all of them were qualified. Certainly she was very qualified. But, and he said it as a but, is that she was good. Well, the way he phrased it was, is that she was drop dead gorgeous. And the man told him, the executive told Tony, that he was afraid to hire her because of what would happen. So he didn't hire her, he hired one of the men. So basically he's using his own shortcomings of his libido to, what's what I'm looking for? To not hire a beautiful woman. That's really bullshit. To put it bluntly, it's messed up because what Tony then said was he's got 20 plus men who come to him with the same problem, and I'm sitting there going, these men are excusing their employment practices because of their own dick, their own libido. They're not willing to face up to the facts that they need to get some help. If you can't handle your own as a man, if you're an employer, an executive, VP, boss, whatever, and you have 2 equally qualified, or even more so, you have 2 candidates qualifying for the job, and one of them who are more qualified happens to be drop dead gorgeous, a woman that you find very attractive. If you can't handle that, you shouldn't be doing your own job, let alone not letting her do her job. This has been really sitting with me and brewing for a couple of weeks. Well, a couple of weeks now. I think it's been a couple of weeks because there's something so wrong about that when I heard it. Now, of course, this works the other way around too. It's rare, but there might be a woman who's a boss hiring men and women to find a very attractive man and wouldn't want to hire him because he's too attractive for her to handle her libido. So I'm not saying it's only one way, but 90% of the time it is, which is that men are the ones that can't apparently handle themselves, which is why the Me Too movement is largely about women. And yes, the Me Too movement is also about men too, who've been abused, been harassed, been sexually confronted. So this direction is from men to women, as men not respecting women for who they are, but objectifying them for what they look like. And that is one of the things we've got to work through. It's one of the things that needs to change for our culture to move forward, for our society to move forward. And I know a part of that, frankly. Yeah, a part of that, and I'm just sitting with where it comes from. Excuse my a little bit wheezy today. The wind's been kicking up, and my allergies are playing up a little bit. So excuse my windedness sounding. But part of this that's going on is, well, I'm going to put it this way. We live in a culture in America that is extremely puritanical. In fact, that's how America was founded. And that puritanical mindset made sexuality, sensuality, intimacy, nudity taboo. It made guns and violence mainstream, but it made sex and procreation taboo. I mean, there's a whole bunch of psychological messed up stuff in the middle of that. But the reality is that so for the last 200-300 years in this culture, women have been hidden from view to a large degree. And actually, it's not just here. This has happened back in the Middle East, in other cultures too. But the reality is that because I think a large sense of it, especially with some of the countries in Europe that are doing something about it differently. For example, I was living in Germany back in the mid-70s, late 70s. And there, in fact in England too, on the TV shows, full frontal, basically topless women were not hidden. Like in America, they blur everything vaguely sexual. When someone, literally, when somebody shows a middle finger on television, they blur that out because that's somehow wrong. Yet in Europe, certainly in Germany and in England, because of the countries I lived in, and I saw that, on television, they didn't blur it. It was like, oh, okay, nudity. Like it was part of the culture. And I believe that's a much more mature and a much more, that's what I'm looking for, developed way of living, because when you hide that stuff, it becomes more of a challenge. So putting back to what I was talking about with Tony Robbins' clients, these men have been so sexually repressed, it would seem, that they can't handle themselves being around a beautiful woman without having to, well, I didn't say what they would do, but the implication is that this beautiful woman that he couldn't hire, he wouldn't be able to control himself. What the fuck? I'm sorry, but this is like, that's one of the, so again, this is Tony Robbins' talk that I'm talking this from, or I should say it's Tony Robbins' piece around the metoo movement when he saw that woman in the audience who has been interviewed a few times by a friend of mine, Destin Garrett, by the way. He interviewed her a couple of times and been really interesting conversations. But that part of it stuck out to me, this whole thing about men not being able to hire women because they were too beautiful. That's sexism at its worst, maybe. And it's frustrating to watch men justify this because they can't control their own libido. Men, guys, step the fuck up. Step up, grow up, become real men. Stop being frigging boys. I'm sure this is coming as a rant. It's getting kind of, I'm using less polite words, I know, because it's bugging me. This, not proliferation is the wrong word, but this continuation of handling men with women that is objectifying women, even apparently the altruistic way, which is bullshit. To say that women are too beautiful to hire because you know you can't handle yourself, or you want me to control yourself, or all that sort of crap, is crap. It's in the way of us having a mature society and an emancipated and understanding society, which is dual, inclusive both in this role, particularly in the business world. And a lot of women I know are entrepreneurs now, and I was talking to a friend of mine recently how she felt challenged that she didn't feel she'd be understood as a woman because she was a woman. They wouldn't take her seriously. And so my response to that is, guys, seriously? You won't take a woman seriously because she's a woman? You need to grow up here and act your age, act your maturity, and act your... Well, I want to go there. Excuse me. Clearing this stuff out, whatever. Hit me earlier with the winds. Got some dust in my lungs or something. So, this is not going to be a solution type talk, obviously not. But it's more of a rant. It's more of a provocation, and it's an invitation. And the invitation is this. Ladies, if you're watching this, I stand at your side. I stand in your corner, and I'm passionate about you being honored and respected for who you are, what you do, and what you're about in the world. Yes, my work is helping you find amazing relationships, but a lot of it is helping you own your power and magnificence of the world, the feminine The divine feminine, the feminine majesty, the feminine mystique is something I'm very passionate about. Men who are watching this, and the men this gets shared with, ladies, you can share it with your men. Please, for the sake of our future society, take a look at your own stuff. Stop abdicating your role as a mature man to be a protector of women and a respecter of women, not a predator on women. This is something that's going to be changing, I hope, and I'm part of this conversation, I know. And the Me Too movement and the Time's Up movements are moving this conversation forward. But the more of us involved in this conversation, the better. Because there's too much stagnation still going on. There's too much puritanical limitation that's still happening in society. And part of that's another piece I want to talk about quickly. The fact that we can't express full spectrum in front of the TV because it's R-rated or X-rated because of what happens is a limitation for this society. To make killing somebody with arrows, knives, guns, bombs okay to put on primetime TV, but to show a woman's bare chest or a man's genitalia isn't okay, that's out of balance. This society, I'm sorry to say, as many cultures are, is way out of date. And the puritanical oversight of this society is killing us as a society. And I believe, frankly, that the Me Too movement may be shackled, in a way, by the society in which it's expressing, which is this puritanical movement. So hopefully they can move it forward. The fact you can't even give somebody the bird on TV and not have it blurred out is crazy. So, having said that, I invite your comments. I don't have a homework assignment necessarily. Well, I do. I've got one coming up already. I realise now as I said that. But I invite you to look into this yourself and see where you stand. This is your homework. If you're a woman, look into yourself and see where you've had that treatment yourself, and where maybe you've missed opportunities because some man did not stand in his truth and was driven by his balls instead of his maturity and his heart. Men, if you're watching this, and I invite you, if you are watching this, to think about this. Where in your life could you do things differently when you see a woman, not as some sex object? Where if you're in a place of hiring or positioning or selling or whatever that is, and you're not including women because of that issue you have with them, sort yourself out. Get some sort of guidance, whatever that is, to be whole, to be respectful, to be inclusive. Again, I invite your comments. I don't have any sales pitch here. This is basically just what came up from this talk. So again, for those who didn't see the beginning, this is my rant from a segment within a talk that's been publicized around the web from Tony Robbins' event at San Jose, which was about a month ago. Was it a month ago? Where he was addressing the Me Too movement, and he made some statements that really triggered me. A bunch of stuff did, but this one in particular did. So if you have a chance to watch that video and you see that piece, let me know what you think. And again, any comments about this video, please put them below. This is not my normal topic or teaching, but it's what came up to me to talk about. So my other topics you can catch on my regular broadcast. This is number 315 in an ongoing series of talks called Messages from the Masculine to Inspire the Feminine Heart. You can watch any of the other broadcasts on my website, which is barryselby.com. Click on the video blog. You can also watch them here on Facebook, which is under my business page, which is barryselby.author, or also on my YouTube channel, which is the Messages of the Masculine playlist, and the username is Barry Selby, because that's my name on social media. If you need help in the area of love and relationships, you can still get that from me, even though this is not what I'm promoting this talk. If you go to my website, go to barryselby.com, click on the Let's Chat button, and sign up for a discovery session. We can talk. And with that, I invite you to consider what I just said. And I do invite comments. So thank you for watching, and I will be back tomorrow, hopefully a bit calmer. Maybe more teaching versus ranting. And I appreciate you being here. I'll see you again tomorrow. Bye.